Wagwan people, Wagwan tea sippers, Wagwan me generals. How are you all doing today? So, for today's podcast, I pulled out a proverb, and the proverb today was if you save money, money will save you. So, if you save money, darling, money will save you. One more time. If you save money, money will save you. So, I hope you do have a nice cup of tea. Okay, so to the subscribers, one love. To all the new viewers out there who's watching this for the first time, okay, gwan. And if you're listening to the audio podcast, gwan to you all. One love. Yes, yes, yes. So be sure to have something, that keeps you nice and hydrated. If you've got some biscuits, I like some shortbread or some oat biscuits. Yeah, maybe a little sweetie here now and then. Something that you can just maybe like have a little snack on, and we'll have a nice little chat. Yeah, and just talk about what we think this means. So if I turn the back, it's like about investing, save for the future. Okay, so I'm reading the proverb card here. If you save money, money will save you. If you save money, money will save you. And I think that goes without saying, like making sure that as a collective we are putting money aside. Recently, a card that I pulled out, and it's on the shorts, is the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles represents that figure of someone who knows how to handle money, knows how to look after money, knows how to make sure that they are putting some money aside, has developed a skill, a talent, whether whether it's something to do with acquiring wealth, putting some time to learn about how to build wealth or build an income, whether it's also being a pillar of knowledge, of strength in that area, and having and when it comes to anything to do with finances, wealth, knowledge, the power in that field, in that arena, they've taken that time to invest in that area. So that area, I would say, in essence, they are the go-to person. They are the expert. And as a collective at Wagwan Tara and Tea, it's all about you, the whole of you, looking at things at a wholesome, holistic level. And as much as there are many, kind of talks or different things out there where it's like, okay, to focus on the love life, focus on maybe like your career, your money. At Wagwan Tarianti, we're very much about looking about everything, because your love life doesn't just define you. We are multifaceted, as human beings. And at Wagwan Tarenti, that is the approach that we like to take. We like to look at things and say, well, we are always growing, we are always developing, we are always evolving. And in one area, money, finances is one of those areas that we are always working on and always looking to improve. And so that we develop, we are focusing on our passions, what drives us, and in its essence as well, taking time to make sure you are looking after yourself. And if your finances is also part of you know, you taking that time to show us that self-care. So let's pull out a few cards and let's see what messages regarding this proverb. If you save money, money will save you. Can we have a card, please? Regarding if you, oh, look at that. Yes, we got the moon in reverse and we have the 10 of wands. And I feel like this is really, again, telling you, if you take that time to put some money aside, whether it's 5%, 1%, you know, depending on how much you are willing or you're able to, that can remove a lot of, it can remove a lot of stress, maybe anxiety when it comes to money, that you maybe put it in a separate account so that whenever there is a rainy day, or there is a day where there's difficulty, or there's you can get by, And also I'm getting, don't put all your eggs in one basket, you know. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I feel like with the 10 of wands here, it's also telling me like that whole thing, don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's about, you know, making sure you're creating, like, either it's just like a portfolio is coming to mind, but even just taking the time to say, right, I'll put some here, I'll save some here, and even looking at, right, I want to buy this item, but maybe I can look at how I can maybe go on a payment plan, make sure I pay all of my bills first, and then maybe even looking at myself and going, okay, with the moon here, I've got like, maybe can I look at it within a 2-week or a 3-week? If there's something that I want to buy or want to purchase, can I maybe sit on it, write it down, maybe write it write it on a journal, write it on a text message or something, or a kind of like a buy list, create a buy list kind of thing, where you can then record what it is that you do like, so that you're not kind of going on an impulse buying, because the moon kind of represents those kind of like energies of like stress, maybe feeling overwhelmed over something. And I feel like maybe with this, it could all be also like releasing that by or letting go of those feelings by tuning into your emotions, and being mindful, like, if are there any tendencies that when you do get overwhelmed, that's when you may tend to kind of, maybe when it comes to being sensible around money, that's when we can kind of be impacted by it. So it's like taking that opportunity to be mindful that sometimes, you know, if we are going through things, or that or we're feeling stressed, or we're feeling overwhelmed, sometimes that can then impact on how we deal with money. And I feel like maybe having like looking at, if there is a purchase that you want to buy, you want to get something, and it might be, let's say, maybe just looking at, okay, let me make sure that I've covered all my bills first, and or if it's something that you want to buy for yourself, and it's something that you want to give yourself a treat, like, that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. And but making sure you are like taking that time to put some aside, you know. All right, let's see what else comes out. What else do we need to know regarding saving money, or this Jamaican proverb? I feel like something wants to come out. Yes, that's it. Look at that. The High Priestess. Yes. So the High Priestess is like, you know this, girl. You know this, sis. You know this, bro. You know, sometimes there might be things that you're thinking, oh my gosh, like, why did I just do that? Why did I just do that? And I feel like it's saying, you know, we have to take those opportunities to be mindful, because again, if there is something you want to do, you might be working really hard, you know, but it's about making sure you are putting the time and effort to focus and build that area. So if we go back to the whole, like the the King of Pentacles court card represents being like, essentially, let's see it as like they're being like a go-to person or an expert in that field when it comes to money, when it comes to finances, you know. And it's essentially like seeing yourself as in a holistic way, that it's like, maybe if that's not an area that maybe has been your strength, it's like going to people or sources, or that where you can learn, where you can improve, you know. And this is why, very much again at Wagwan Tarenti, this is why it's all about that, seeing things as a holistic, you know, where no one is, and as well, kind of removing that idea that not people are we're not perfect, you know. We are imperfectly perfect, okay? Imperfectly perfect, honey. We are imperfectly perfect. So that meaning, you know, what every man, in the words of Errol Dunkley, every man do their thing a little way different. Every man do their thing a little way different. And that simply means what you might do might be completely different to somebody else, okay? But we can all take that time to go and learn. So if we know that maybe money hasn't been our area, yeah, with the moon being here, if it's if money has been something where has not been our strength, and it has caused maybe some feelings of being overwhelmed, feeling stressed, then it's like, maybe can we speak to a financial advisor, you know? Or can we start with looking at our budget, you know, maybe download a banking app so you can have a close look at your money. You can see clearly what is coming in. You can then see what, you know, assess your bills, what is coming out, what needs to be paid by this date. And so you're creating like you're organizing your finances, and you're keeping an eye on it. But by you taking that attitude, it's also helping you to remove those feelings of like feeling stressed and feeling overwhelmed, and kind of getting to this point that I just don't look at my finances. And it's like, no, taking on, you know, an approach. And this is why I'm all for like making sure, you know, we take the time to look at our finances and ways how we can support ourselves, and again develop, if it is an area where it hasn't been your strength, taking that time to make it become a strength. And that can only happen if you are willing and able, essentially, to just write, this is an area I can see that I need to work on, you know. And this is why the new moon and the full moon, you know, of like essentially the new moon is like when I want to focus on bringing new into my world, you know, is a good time to say, right, this is something I know that I want to work on, so I'm going to take the steps to work on it. Or just like full moon, right, this is an area that I know I need to release, so I know, or it's something that's no longer working for me, so I'm going to take the opportunity now to take action on it, write it down, and make it so that it's a goal that I can work on, and ensure that I'm working on developing this, because I want to improve. And the only way I'm going to improve is by me taking action and just taking heed on making it happen. Even if it's like, right, every day I do a small achievable goal, something that is smart, yeah, so it's specific, it's measurable, it is so it's smart, so it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's realistic, and it's time-based or time-bound, okay? So making it a smart goal. So let's, for example, if with the High Priestess is coming telling me, right, instead of us holding it in our head or keeping our thoughts just there. Write it down. Yeah, High Priestess is telling us to write it down. Set yourself an achievable goal. And we could do this, for example, if we know we're getting a certain amount of money coming in, we'll say, okay, let's start small. Okay, and maybe we can examine this for 3 months. So we make that as the time bound, okay, for instance. Then to make it specific, we can say, right, we're going to put no more than $3, okay? You could say $3, £3, three yen, yeah, depending on where you are, 3 rupees, yeah, wherever you are watching this, or what currency you use. You could say, right, $3, and I'm gonna put $3 into a savings account every month, okay, for and maybe say, right, for 3 months, then you measure it and see how that goes. And then so that's something, if that's something that's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's realistic, and it's time bound. And in that way, after those 3 months, if you are having success with it, and you're thinking, yes, this feels like I can do this, this is realistic, and then you're also noticing that you are developing a consistent program when it comes to you saving. And so by the end of those 3 months, if that is working for you, then you can say, right, after these 3 months, we can do a review. And that review could be like, okay, based on what you've saved so far, how is it going? Is it working for you? And you can write it even as a journal prompt. How is this working for you? How has it helped you in terms of your overall well-being? How do you feel now that you have able to save this amount? Whether it could still be like, let's say by month 3, it will be $9. But how has it made you feel, that you were able to save and invest and you did not touch that money? Okay. And write it down as a journal prompt, and just noticing maybe your patterns of behavior. How do you feel? And then maybe let's say you might say, right, after that you've done that journal prompt and you've done your review, you might say, right, I want to do this for another 3 months, or maybe possibly stretch it to now 6 months, because now you've already completed the 3-month SMART goal. Okay, remember, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So you've already achieved that, and that's something you can then put on your goalpost. You can pop your color. You can give yourself a nice pat on the back to know that you achieved that. Yes, you achieved that, darling. You, honey, you did that. So from that now, you can then say, right, the next 6 months, I'm going to maybe either keep it the same, whether it's $3, or you can then say, right, I'm going to up it a bit, whether it's like you're going to say, right, from $3 to $6, okay? And then those $6 for 6 months, okay? So if you think, if you review that and then you're like, right, you keep saying that, yeah, I can put $6, yeah, $6 can either now can be like just a bit more than a cup of coffee. So those $6 for 6 months, so 6 times 6, that's $36. Yeah, $36. Plus that onto the $9 that you had. Yeah, so you can see how it can multiply over a period of time. Okay, and I feel like that is what the High Priestess is really wanting us to kind of know, is just knowing that, look, you can, whatever it is, it doesn't even matter if it's money, anything. If there's an area in our life that we want to work on, fine, we can do it. But it may just need a little bit of a oomph, a little bit of a push, a little bit of a motivation, okay? So come to Wagwan Tara and Tea. There is a Hopopono full moon meditation on the YouTube channel. that you can access anytime. And it's a really good way, a really good technique that you can use. You know, if you're just feeling stressed or you're feeling overwhelmed, okay, that you can use it as a way to just say the simple words of I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And it's originally a Hawaiian prayer that was used for loved ones who were experiencing ill health, but it's now widely used as a tool to kind of release um, maybe limiting beliefs or feelings that are no longer serving you, so that, or blockages on that no longer serving you, so that you can bring in that, you know, that new energy into your existence. And what better way you can do that by using it when it comes to also money. And that's why also I love EFT, which is the emotional freedom technique, and it's all about the tapping, tapping you. So like your chakra areas, or like from your temple, your your wrist, your near your heart, or your root, or your solar plexus, just around your chakra areas, just tap in those areas, because it also helps to bring calm and give you a sense of like releasing, and just making that as part of your habit, especially if there's areas in your life where you're feeling like, okay, when it comes to money, I do tend to kind of get very stressed. And sometimes we don't even, it can even be a physical stress that we don't even realize that we do it, where it could be like we become very fidgety when we are talking about things that we are uncomfortable about, or become very flustered. And when it comes to money, this could be an area that can make people become or feel very overwhelmed. So essentially, with the high priestess being here, is telling us, look, we can do this, you know, and the fact that you're listening to this is a sign. This is a sign to tell you, look, you're in a place where you're in a supportive place, where we're all learning together. We are all learning together. You hear me? We're all learning together. And as the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. So you can't just expect to just be from, let's say, I want to become an astronaut and be an astronaut by day one, after like just having the initial idea, say no, sorry, by day two. It doesn't work that way. It's built over time. And it's something again that has said previously, just like fitness, your fitness level can be like, you could be at your peak fitness level, okay, but your peak fitness level does not stay the same. It's something you have to keep, you have to retain it by consistency. It's only through consistency how you can retain a peak level of fitness. And essentially that's the same thing about all areas in our life. We have to constantly work on ourselves, and see that we are constantly evolving, constantly developing, constantly growing, whether that's our spiritual growth, whether that is our physical growth, our fitness levels, our looking after ourselves, having a good skincare, sleep routine, your financial routine, making sure you're taking that time to look at your money and your accounts, and ways that how you can bring more money into your existence, even just through your affirmations, your mindset. We are constantly evolving, and it's important that we are taking that opportunity to not be so hard on ourselves, okay, but really taking that time to say, right, this is an area that I can work on. Right, these are some sets of tools that I can use, whether it's affirmations, it's saying it's using a mantra, so my mantra is from a song, okay. The artist has artist's name has come out of my mind. I had it, and then it just at the tip of my tongue, but it's money hafumek. Money hafumek. Money, so it's money has to be made. Money has to be made. But in Patwa, money hafumek. So you can create your own mantra, or you can use that one, money have to make, money have to make, money have to make. Yeah, or just saying or referencing to the King of Pentacles and saying, just like the King of Pentacles or just like the Queen of Pentacles, I am the go-to person. I am very knowledgeable. I am very good when it comes to money and handling money and dealing with money. Or with the Ace of Pentacles, many opportunities always come. Opportunities always come my way. Opportunities always come my way. And just saying it, with power, with conviction, and this is why I like using dance or singing, because I find with dancing is movement. It allows the body to move. It allows the body to flow. Yeah, and your chakras love it too, as well as singing. From the throat chakra, that allows energy to flow. So if you combine those things together, it usually puts you in a really good feeling. It's like thinking of somebody, whether you could be at a wedding or you could be at a club or somewhere where people are dancing. And there might be that one person who's sitting on a chair somewhere and they're looking kind of miserable, and you're like, come on, get up. And as soon as they get up and start moving, you see instantly how their body, their attitude starts to change, and they get really like they're enjoying the moment. And that is the attitude that, once you take on that attitude, it helps you to uplift your frequency, to uplift your spirit, so that you're in that feel-good energy. And that's when you get into that feel-good energy, that's when the manifesting can take place, of that positive, vibrant energy. So tune into that energy whenever you want to bring new into your life. Okay? Right, so I feel Spirit's asking to pull another card. Can we have another card? Wait, look at that. The Emperor. Yes. Hey. The Emperor. Yeah, is all that Aries energy, but it's also, I'm the boss. Okay. There was another short that was created where it reminded me of there was that's it, Birdman, who's the rapper, who said, I'm the boss, put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name. Yeah, so I made a little thing, I'm the Emperor, put some respect on my name. I'm the Emperor, put some respect on my name. I make boss moves, I'm the Emperor, put some respect on my name. I'm the Emperor, put some respect on my name. I make boss moves, yeah? Just take on that attitude. Take that attitude in any area, that you want to work on, and let that flow. Because yes, you are the Emperor in your life. You do make boss moves, yeah? You make boss moves, honey. So go out there and be the boss, You're a boss. You're a boss. Go out there and do that. And I feel no way about it. Feel no way about it. Okay? You can see also we've got the Six of Cups here. So I feel like the Six of Cups is like, yeah, you take that time to show that love. Put that love in it. Okay? And you've got this. You've got this. So I feel the need to pull out a money message from the money purse. Okay. So let's see what wants to come out. Can we have one message, please, for the collective? One message. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look what came out. Keep a close eye on your spending. Keep a close eye on your spending. And this is essentially what we were talking about. So yes, taking the steps to make sure you are keeping a close eye on your spending, making sure, and you can do this by creating a budget plan. Okay. So creating a budget plan, that is something, please do put it in the comments below, as that is something that I would like to do, look and see how I can do that for the collective. And again, if you're listening via YouTube, please click on the subscribe button, because then the more subscribers that we have, okay, that helps the channel to grow, but it also gives the channel more opportunities to then bring lots of different other opportunities for the collective as well. Okay, so please do put it in the comments if that is something that you will find useful, and we'll also look to see how we can create that, because I think, again, going back to the whole idea that we are human beings, yes, but we are multifaceted, you know. We are multifaceted, and as part of us growing and developing, and we're always developing and always evolving, you know, there's certain areas in our life that maybe we're like, okay, I'm okay on this, I'm okay on that, but maybe this area I can work on. I can take some time to work on that. Perhaps work out if there is, when it comes to money, if there is any kind of like trauma or issues around money, that maybe it has impacted how I buy. If I'm an impulsive buyer, or I when I get sad or upset, I kind of go to retail therapy as a way to try and manage my emotions, and then that can maybe result to me buying things that I don't really need, or makes me feel good at the initial time, but then I'm realizing, oh, I've just bought this like item that it looks pretty, but I don't use it, and it's just in my cupboard. So it's, again, you know, keeping that close eye on your spending. That's just you just taking that time to just say, right, you know, how can I be using, again, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound goals for myself, so I'm not gonna get overwhelmed and feel that I can't do something. Taking small steps each time to get me where I need to be. Woo! To get me where I need to be. Yeah. So, collective. Let's end this with a well-being message. Okay, I feel like a well-being message is needed here. So I'm going to just have a quick little shuffle and see what comes out. Ooh, let's see what else comes out for the well-being for the collective. Okay. Ooh, okay. Right, so we got FaceTime, call a friend. No phone for an hour before bed. No phone for an hour before bed. And I feel like with the moon, that can also really help in that area. So you're not dwelling on things, and it's helping you to kind of unwind and relax as well. Okay. Keep a bottle of water around you. Yes, because we're all about hydration around here. Hydration. It's all about that hydration. Yes. Eat a wholesome food. Yeah, eat a wholesome food, because that can also help with your moods, your well-being. Okay. Write a gratitude list. Write a gratitude list. And I feel like with the high priestess, again, when we're saying about making sure you log things down, write things in a journal that's worrying you, taking that time to write a gratitude list, saying the Ho'oponopono mantra, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me and thank you. It helps you to stay in that that energy of gratitude, and that energy of gratitude is a powerful energy that will only bring more and more and more, because you are showing to the universe that you are thankful for what you have in the present. You are thankful for what you have in the present, and if you are thankful for what you have in the present, darling, only abundance can come from that. Okay? Only abundance can come from that. Yeah? So in my head, I'm getting, I don't know if anyone has watched Charlie Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yes, that's it. Charlie Charlie Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So Spirit's telling me to tell you the story of Charlie Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So the first film, not the Johnny Depp version, the first one with Gene Wilder, I want to say. And there was a little girl in there. Well, actually, there was lots of characters in there, but there was a little girl who had, and she was with her dad. She had her dad, and she always like, I want this, daddy. I want this, daddy. I want this, daddy. And there was a scene where she wanted the egg. She was like, oh, I want the egg, because yeah, that's it. It was birds that would lay golden eggs. That's it. They would lay golden eggs, and she kept ranting, like she kept like just nagging her father that I want this egg, till in the end she became the bad egg. And again, I feel like that message is to remind us, look, sometimes we might want lots of different things in our life, but be thankful for where you are. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful. Be in that energy of being thankful for what you have, because that energy can only bring more, because you're showing to the universe, you're showing to your guardian angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides, that you are in a place of gratitude. And if you're in that place of gratitude, only good can come from it. But if we stay in this energy of lack and, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, and we're watching what other people have, even maybe like, let's say we're seeing people buy things constantly, and it becomes the have and the have not, that you put yourself in debt trying to see because you want what somebody else has. Stay away from that energy, because that energy only brings us to an energy of just feeling like we're not good enough, that we're never as good enough if we don't have those material things, we don't have these material belongings. We can't take these things with us. We can't take it to we can't take it to the grave. But it's also important that we are thankful to be in the present. And again, if you want to live a life of luxury, we can all live a life of luxury, But at the same time, we still have to be thankful. So let that abundance flow into your life, into your existence. And again, abundance can look like many things. Whether it's having a good time, speaking with family, see FaceTime, call a friend, maybe share, problems shared, problems halved. Well, maybe they might even you might even have a phone call with them where they're like, oh my gosh, why don't you tell me about this? Yeah, there's this bank, or there's this saving, you could do this. In the Caribbean culture, we have what is called the partner system. So the partner system is like a group of people that come together. It could maybe be from 5 people to 10 people who all come together and say, right, we're going to save some money. The only thing is, interest is not built from this, but it's essentially, it was this system that when, let's say, lots of Caribbean people migrated to the UK, to the US. They came together and say, right, we want to save this amount of money or X amount of money. So we will put we will put, let's say £50, $50. Okay. So if we got 5 people all putting $50, one person will be the trustee, and they will all give that money to the trustee. And then each week everybody puts in 50, 50, 50, 50, so that every single person who's in that partner system will then get their full, essentially, so 50, so 50 times 5, so that they'll get basically that money. My maths has gone out the window, but essentially they will get that amount of money. Okay. And then with, like, the idea is that through kindness, you then give the trustee maybe a percentage of that money, whether it's like maybe 5%, 10%, or depend, how generous. But the idea, because they're not, essentially they're being trusted to manage this money, but there isn't a kind of system of that allows it, unless what people might do is then say, right, this is the partner, but as the trustee, you pay me maybe £10 or £5 each week. So that maybe that's like a little trusting fund to manage it. But usually the trustee can also be part of that system as well. But it tends to be like a system where it's with people that you know very well, or maybe family, or trusted loved ones that that you can do that with, or just looking at maybe how you can invest and save. But it's essentially taking that time to learning how you can do things, whether it could be just saying right to yourself, I want to save this amount of money, and you create your own savings account, and you just again put like $3 a month, and see how that and maybe just even forget about it for a year. Just say, right, I'm not going to look at that, I'm not going to touch any money from that. That is just maybe a cup of coffee, and I'm just going to leave that for a month, and then see how it blossoms, maybe for 3 to 6, 9 to 12 months. And you'll be amazed to think, wow, like I've just left that to just grow and grow and accumulate. And what better way as well, if you can find a bank account that has maybe a good compound interest, a good interest rate. So then while you're saving, you're also being funded with, your account is also being funded with some interest as well to help you grow. Yeah. Or with the emperor again, finding different ways to build an income. So if you've got a passion or a hobby, and you're thinking, right, while I'm working, or you want to find different ways, there's so many different options that you can do and look into. Because remember, you're the boss, and you have to believe that you are the boss. You are the boss in your life. You are a creator in your life. So, what you can do in using your own power is to maybe making sure you're taking time for yourself, looking after yourself, looking after your well-being, making sure you are eating healthily, eating wholesome foods. Yeah, lots of greens, lots of vegetables, healthy sources of protein and carbohydrates, to nourish the body, with the vitamins and minerals that your body needs, okay? Staying hydrated, all of these things are key and are important, okay? So wherever you can, put a little bit of money aside, and let it grow. Let it grow. The 7 of Pentacles is coming to my mind, because it's usually like a rose bush with the pentacles on it, and it's kind of representing like that growing. But let it grow. Let it grow. And don't be like, yeah, but I want it to grow a bit more. Just let this, just trust the process. Trust the process and just take a little step each time. But again, um, if especially like let's say if we start that behavior from when we're young, it's really good because it benefits us as well in older age. So that as we get older, then we can then rely on what we've accumulated during our youth, um, to use that to help us in later life. But I feel like whether we start now or your later life, just is about just getting into the habit of making it happen, and taking little steps to find ways of how you can discipline yourself with money. But the earlier we do it, the better. Okay, because then it gives us more opportunities to then see the growth. This if through by taking that time to be consistent and then working on ourselves. Okay, because again, we are constantly evolving, we are constantly developing, we are constantly growing. So it is always key to really take that time to say, right, this is an area that I am not so strong in, and I recognize that some growth is needed. So if I start this now, then I can see over a period of time the growth, the growth, the growth it will amaze me, surprise me, how much growth that I can see in like right, just in this like the swift change in my mindset has helped me to get to this, or has helped me to get from A to D, all by a few simple changes, by just taking that time to say, right, this is an area that I need some tweaking here, and I'm going to take that time and that effort maybe to go and seek people who are of trusted sources, because remember, we're not about the scammers. We're not about the scammers. If you haven't listened to that podcast, please do, because the scammers are out there, not just in the whether in the tarot world or spiritual world. They're just around everywhere. So it's being mindful. If you know where to go, let's say, right, if it's the YouTube channel, it's the podcast. If don't be going and like if someone's replying to you and giving you like a DM and you're thinking, well, I didn't solicit this DM or anything like that, trust your intuition, that don't ignore it, and if report it as well. Okay, because we're not about that scamming life. But going through trusted processes. Okay, so as well as maybe like there might be a group as well that are about saving, about finding ways to build an income, and okay, welcome to Wagwan Tarot and Tea, yeah, because we're all about the holistic. Okay, so that can be another area. You're listening to the podcast, that can help you to get some gems that you can then use on your own, for your own journey, to see, to work on it, to work on your money, or to work on, building some goals around your money. Yeah. And maybe looking at, maybe speaking with your bank or a financial advisor and saying, right, this is what I get and this is what I want, to find ways of how I can build, more incomes or growth. What accounts can I use that can give me maybe a better interest, whether I can look into, maybe you might have ambitions or desires to then set up a business or go into property, go into trading, and taking that time to, making sure you're doing your due diligence. That's the word. To then go out making sure that, you're getting information from trusted sources. Okay, so just taking that time to just remember, in chunks, small steps, and keeping them time bound. So you're like, right, this is something that I can do that is realistic and it's achievable, okay? And not overwhelming yourself, okay? Because, okay? So if there is like a case of like debt or things like that, coming up, it's like coming up with a plan and not keeping your head on, as they say, under the covers, or it's about really kind of, right, this is what the situation is, and let's see what we can do. Can we come up with a plan? Okay, something that's small, something that's achievable. Is there anywhere where you can say, right, are there any, like, let's say, any subscriptions, Netflix or different type of things that maybe you're not really using, use gym, and think, okay, am I using that? Okay, right, maybe I can just tweak that here or there, or your bills, see if there maybe you can get discounts or things like that. So then that way, when you're looking and you're assessing your budget, you can see maybe here where there are fixed costs. So your fixed costs can be like your let's say if you've got a mortgage or car payments, anything like that. And then you've got like the variable costs where things like bills and possibly the mortgage as well, but like bills where maybe you there can be some adjustments, where maybe you can get them discounted and things like that, especially if you're a low customer as well. So essentially it's about taking that time, don't getting yourself stressed and overwhelmed on these things, because again, if you save money, money will save you. Money is a currency. Money is a currency. So let that money flow. But first, we have to get the mind right. We have to get that mind in that energy of and getting your well-being right. Because if you are feeling, if you're looking after your well-being, then everything else will start to kind of blossom. So it all starts from you being that boss, you being that creator, but looking after yourself and making sure you're putting yourself first, showing that self-love, that self-care, okay? And taking that time for yourself and recognizing the importance of it. So then those, things will start to blossom, okay? Okay? Yes. So I feel the need also to pull out a message from the spiritual guidance cupcake. I do love this cupcake. As a closing message for the podcast. Let's see. We have a closing message for the podcast regarding if money will save you. If you save money, money will save you. That's it. One came out. Let's see. Yes, that's it. Get up, get turned up, look good, and feel good. Get turned up and look good. And again, that's all about that well-being energy, taking that time to look after you. Because if you're taking that time to look after you, making sure you're sleeping regularly, and releasing yourself of those feelings of being overwhelmed and stressed, talking to your close loved ones, sharing, recognizing if there is an issue when it comes to finances, there are help out there, to go and seek that help, and don't feel any way about it, okay? Because you're taking that time to like, right, this is an area that I know I need to work on, so I'm going to take the time to then learn, be honest, and over time that's going to become a strength, okay? Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. So, collective, I hope the messages are resonating, Take what resonates and leave the rest. I saw it go at gwan, Tara, Auntie. And I saw it go at the podcast. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. But please, if you're watching it via YouTube, please add a comment somewhere. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. okay? And you can access this podcast on all podcast platforms, okay? It is on Spotify, okay? So you can access it there as well. And you can access it on YouTube as well, okay? So it's whatever your preference is. If you want to come back and watch it watch it whenever you feel like to, okay? And please do share it with your friends and family who can benefit from this message. And just make sure you're taking that time to look after yourself, all right? But make sure you stay blessed, look good, feel good, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay hydrated. Remember that. One love. Gwan.